What is up, guys and gals out there on YouTube land? Thanks for joining me here on my channel again. Stephen Sturgill. I'll be your host for the next few minutes. Sad to say, or not to say, guys, I'm back on my oud kick. We're taking a look today at this bad boy. Supreme Oud by Ralph Lauren Polo. This is a fragrance that I've wanted to get my nose on for quite some time, but for me, now that I already have A, so many oud-based fragrances, and B, several that are fairly high dollar and either niche or close to niche level, I was a little bit hesitant in pulling the trigger on an entire bottle of Ralph Lauren Polo Supreme Oud, just for the fact that Polo obviously is not really going to punch toe-to-toe with niche and uber high-end designer frags. It's just not going to. So for myself, I had to ask myself, do I want to drop? Not that it's expensive. It's not an expensive frag. You can get the bottle right now. 125 mils of juice. That's 4.2 fluid ounces here in the U.S. and I think Canada. Not sure about Great Britain. I think you guys do ounces as well. Could be wrong. Maybe it's mils. But at any rate, the point is obvious. You can get it for about $68, excuse me, before I change gears. You can get the bottle for about $68 to $70 online, which is really, really good for if it's a good oud. So is it a good oud? Let's get into that. Now the nose on this, guys, was the ever so famous and popular Carlos Benaim, one of the most famous noses on earth, quite literally. And I was just looking over his newest resume, and I've mentioned a lot of his frags in the past. I'm not going to go down every single thing he's done. That would take quite a while. Don't want to do it. So I'm just going to highlight a couple of things that he's done. Man, that's a long page. So going way, way, way back for you old farts like me, and even older than myself, Quorum. He designed Quorum back in 1981. From Antonio Puig. Of course, the Puig group owns a ton of fragrances, or at least their distribution rights throughout the world. He did Alfred Dunhill's Icon, which is, no pun intended, iconic now. Liquid Night, A Lab on Fire. For you ladies, he's done two Bulgaris, Jasmine Noir Eau de Toilette and Jasmine Noir. I would assume the perfume concentration. He's done a lot of Calvin Klein, including Eternity for Men, going way back to 1990. Contradiction, I think that was okay received in the frag community way back in 99. A bunch of flankers, Euphoria Men Intense. Done a lot of Carolina Herrera, or Carolina Herrera, if you can't roll your R's, including the really beautiful bottle that I wish was a man juice, but it's a female juice in it with a gold liquid, dropped in 2016. But for us guys, he did do VIP Black. Let me know if anybody out there has smelled 212 VIP Black. I'd love to get my nose on that and see if that's review worthy. He's done quite a bit of Diana Vreeland. He did Diesel's Only the Brave High and Bad. A couple of several Edward Besses, excuse me. I don't know if that's pronounced Edouard Bess or not, but some Red Door by Elizabeth Arden, some Frederick Malle, including Ode de Magnolia and Music for a While. Pleasures for Men, Estee Lauder, very simplistic bottle. Emporio Armani White for Him, dropped in 01. I don't remember that frag. Armani Code Cashmere for women. I wish that was for men. Is there a man's cashmere? I'd like to know. Some Givenchy stuff. Halston Man, Halston Woman. Mambo for Men. That's actually very good. I rocked that way back in 01. That's actually very, very good for what it is. If you're on a tight budget, I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic frag for summer and fall, and even the winter, really all year round, depends how you want to go. Promenade in the Gardens, Maison Martin, Margiela. Very old, sort of turn of the century, barbershop type presentation. Mojo Magique, Pixie Rose. Very beautiful bottle and box. That's a unisex, although it looks quite feminine from the box. That dropped in 2015. He did a Nina Ricci Premier Jour. Very cool bottle. It looks like stacked cylinders that are slightly offset. It's a female, dropped in 01s. He's done some Prada. He's done a lot of Ralph Lauren, guys. He's done a lot. He did the really elegant, slightly higher line stuff called their Treasures of Safari line. So he did Amber and Oud and Magnolia. Well, I should say the Magnolia is related to the line of Treasures of Safari because it's the same bottle, but it's actually part of their Song of America series. And that's the Magnolia. But he did Supreme Oud and Supreme Cashmere, Polo Blue Eau de Parfum, and just Polo Green all the way back in 78, and also Legacy of English Elegance White Tea in 2016. By S Perfume, he's done Himiko and Musk S. And then by Sana Jordan, he's done Celestial Patchouli, Nubian Musk, Sauvage Jasmine, Tiger by Her Side, Sandalwood Temple, and Berber Blonde. Those all sound fantastically interesting. And then he did a really cool, kitschy kind of line by Shanghai Tang, including Jade Dragon, Mandarin Tea, Lorient, all for men. And then for the women, he's done Oriental Pearl, Spring Jasmine, Rose Silk, Orchid Bloom, and Gold Lily. I've never heard of those before. I don't know if those are sold mostly in Asia, or I don't know. He's done a whole heck of a lot of Victor and Rolf stuff. I mean, I'm not even going to tell you what all. He's just done too many. From Yves Saint Laurent, he's done Six Place Sans Sulpice. Very, very modern, cool, beautiful, elegant all-black bottle with a heavy-looking cap, which just dropped last year, mainly in Paris in 2017. He also did Velour, Caban, and he did L'Homme Libre by YSL. And he's done a few Zaras, and that's going to do it. Okay. Back to the scent. So, this, I would say, is a great way to get your foot in the door of oud. It's not that offensive. It does have a little bit of that pungency, a little bit of that animalic funkiness, skankiness, but it's very subdued. And on the negative side, I would say it is fairly synthetic, but quite well done for a synthetic, which most of them are synthetic, so that's not really, don't let that detract you from trying this. You're going to get pink pepper, cinnamon, although the cinnamon is not the heady, ultra red, sweet kind of cinnamon that a lot of the other more youthful frags do. This is much more on the drier side of the spice end. It's there with that pink pepper chord, but as it's mixing with the oud, and the vetiver here is not that juicy, lush, almost aquatic, sweet vetiver. It's very much a dry, old vetiver. But, you know, what it leaves is you get a little bit of that oud with just a hint of the cinnamon and the pepper. And the guaiac wood in the base. And that's about it, guys. It's overall, it dries down. I've already got the dry down here. Fairly subdued. I would say this is probably office safe as long as you don't go just, you know, a gazillion sprays. But I don't think longevity in this is going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be middle of the road. This is more of a first impressions vid. It's not all that effusive even now, and I only sprayed about 15, 20 minutes ago at the most. And it's not really doing a whole lot for me notes-wise. It's good for what it is, but if you already have 2 or 3 really good oud-based fragrances, I would say probably bypass. But if you want to get your nose on it, by all means, go ahead. Like I said, you can have a whole bottle for around between $55 and $70 for 125 mils, which is a really good deal. Or you can get your nose on a decant for about between 12 and 18 bucks for a pretty good sized decant. I would probably say that's the way to go before you pull the trigger on an entire bottle, unless you just want to play the wait and see if it goes up game and then sell it later at a nice premium. Yeah, this is good for what it is, but it's not much more than that, unfortunately. I've already smelled so many more richer and headier and more expensive ouds at this point. I'm not going to rush out and buy a bottle, but if you want to, by all means, get your, it's not a bad scent. It just doesn't do a whole lot for me better or different than oud-based fragrances that I already have. And there are a couple of minor negatives. Again, it doesn't appear that it's not anywhere near Projection Beast, and I don't think longevity could maybe not be very good, I'm guessing. But other than that, it's a fine beginner's fragrance, a fine way to get your foot into the door of oud, and it's not that overly animalic nor pungent nor sour. So it will, however, dry down to a fairly mild base that doesn't, for me at least, do a whole heck of a lot, but it's okay. I'm going to leave it there at that, and I'll catch you guys hopefully next time on the next episode. Again, tomorrow is the last day for contest submissions. Be there or be square. That was so lame. Anyways, spray often, spray well. Live life on your terms, baby, because it ain't getting any longer. Peace.